In Brazil, I feel like I can have long-lasting relationships with the people that I have met. And it's just, you feel at home. You feel good, which is why it makes it so sad that the country is in the state that it's in, why they feel they need to leave. If I feel at home, why do people feel they need to leave? And that's because I don't understand everything that's going on in there. So this is just my point of view, But people that are living there day to day, they have the need to leave it for a reason. And we can't ignore those reasons.
The longer you have immigrants from a country going to a certain spot, the easier and more organized they're going to get. A lot of people are familiar with the term chain migration, but just think about a chain. So it's like one person pulling the next and pulling the next and pulling the next. So you have your connections with friends, family, people that you might know from your city, from your state. And so when you get to the place, you kind of have a starting point, right? You have a dock.
Eu vejo que aqui nos Estados Unidos, you work hard and you get what you want. E no Brasil, você trabalha duro e continua recebendo um salário medíocre. É muito difícil você conseguir sair de baixo e mudar de vida. Sair da classe média ou da classe pobre e conseguir dar uma vida melhor à sua família. Por mais que você faça universidade, milhões de cursos, experiências internacionais, os salários ainda não são dignos, não são salários que te motivem a trabalhar mais duro para chegar mais longe, porque a verdade é que poucos chegam.
People back in Brazil, they visualize the United States as the place of opportunities, and nobody's gonna fix this way that they're visualized this country. So I feel like the immigration is gonna continue no matter what. They seek for the American dream, and they'll continue to seek for the American dream.
Eu mesmo já fui assaltado, já tive arma na cabeça 2 vezes, infelizmente. Já levaram o celular, dinheiro. Você se sente incapacitado, você vê sua vida passar em segundos. Você não tem o que fazer, você tá literalmente com a sua vida nas mãos do criminoso. Ele tá decidindo se você vai viver ou não.
People that come to living here, either if it's a short period of time or people that want to make a life here. I believe those are 2 main factors: safety, financial security.
You can't ignore the fact that people leave their countries the majority of the time because they need to. People are not going to be leaving because they want to, unless it's an adventure or unless they're actually stable. I would not leave my country if I didn't know I was going to be able to support myself somewhere else, at least for a while. But there's people that leave their country not having a dime in their pocket, not knowing anyone from the other country where they're going. If you have no food at home, what are you going to do? You're going to go and find food somewhere else. You're not going to starve to death.
Brazil does have some richness, like minerals, like agriculture. The thing is, like, if you have this politics that I would say they're not organized in a way to distribute the money the way it's supposed to be being distributed, then you don't have good education, you don't have good health care, you don't have jobs, like person doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel welcome in their own country. So, like corruption, So I believe that if you don't have rules, regulations, laws, if you don't have a firm protocol, it's really hard for people to be held accountable. And then it's just going to be the next person comes in and they take some money away from health, from education, from research. So, and I think that has a direct effect on people not feeling like Brazil is the place for them.
Corrupção. A lot of corruption.
Brazil is a country that gets taken advantage of a lot by politicians.
Eu acho que a educação é a solução para a melhoria de uma sociedade no todo. Se a gente olhar todos os países que têm rankings de de melhor qualidade de vida, de melhores trabalhos, de segurança, são os países que, em ranking de educação, são os top 10. É meio óbvio que a educação é o primeiro problema a ser resolvido. Uma pessoa bem educada, politicamente, uma educação financeira, no todo, é uma pessoa com pensamento mais crítico. Uma pessoa com pensamento mais crítico é capaz de abrir os olhos e ver o que está de errado e realmente cobrar quem tem que ser cobrado, que são os políticos. Mas uma população onde os políticos corruptos sucateiam a educação de propósito, porque isso é bom para eles, eles conseguem meio que doutrinar as pessoas e enfiar pensamentos inexistentes na cabeça das pessoas e fazer o que eles querem com os recursos do país.
No one leaves their house if everything's going well, right? You don't leave your parents' house until they start making too many rules, like or cutting you short on the things they want to do, right? And I feel the same way. It's like for our country where we live, if things are working well, people don't tend to be like, hey, let me look for something else, right? So I think that if you make the place welcoming and fair, I can definitely see a drastic reduction in people trying to, immigrate to America. I think we would need international help. It's not just within one country, social inequality doesn't have borders, right? You have to think globally. You have to think about poverty, people without water, people that doesn't feel safe, people that live in countries that are very unstable, civil wars. So it's a very, very complex issue, but we need to think globally instead of just thinking within the country that we live in. The US and other European countries, rich countries, it would be to invest in the countries where the people are coming from to create jobs there.